What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So today, I have a very interesting video for you guys because it is now official. Corporate America is no longer interested in growth. They're just trying to figure out ways to remain profitable, which means in 2023, that is cutting costs. That is laying off employees. This should devastate you. It doesn't matter if you have a job, you're currently on unemployment, you are collecting Social Security benefits. It doesn't matter. Everybody in the United States is going to be impacted because of this. Now, if you do have a job, first off, that's good. Try to keep it. But this is your warning that your job could go away at a moment's notice. Yeah, flip of a switch, it could go away. If you're collecting Social Security benefits, this should really concern you. Now, if you are 85, 90 years old, chances are it shouldn't be that concerning to you because it might not impact you in the next 10 years. But if you are 50, 60, 70 years old, yeah, this might impact you because what's happening right now is that people are being let go. If you lose your job, guess what? You lose your job, you lose your income. But you know what that means to people on Social Security? That means for the Social Security trust, they get less money. They get less revenue because less people are working. Again, with less revenue means the insolvency date for Social Security could come much sooner. But this is why you need to be prepared for this major change because companies are now cutting costs like never before. And again, I went into a office building. I went to this office building. Normally they have pastries, they have coffee and juice and water. The receptionist will greet you and say, "Hey, could I interest you in a coffee? Would you like a scone?" Whatever, right? No, completely different. And the times when they changed this, it wasn't before the pandemic. No, they were doing this about 6 months ago. You know what changed? They're cutting costs. They can't afford to give you a scone and a croissant. They can't do that. They can't give you a nice coffee. Can't give you juice and Fiji waters. No, they're cutting costs. But we're also seeing mass layoffs. However, you're just not hearing about them yet. Here's the reason why. I want you to listen to this. This is an email that I received. This email says this: Adam, I have some more bad news that you need to tell your viewers. My brother-in-law owns a long-haul logistics company on the East Coast and even survived the great financial crisis of 2008. So he knows his stuff. He said to me that companies are letting their contracts expire with him as they are preparing for layoffs come July. He does a lot of shipping for manufacturers and retailers, and everybody's concerned over their bottom line. I know you said this before, and the third and fourth quarters of 2023 will be the worst. I now have confirmation. You're likely right. Thanks for all that you do. Feel free to share this with others. Now, here's the thing. So, yes, we are seeing more companies laying off employees. I just heard the other day that a Target nearby is laying off employees. A dollar store or a Dollar Tree is laying off employees. I went down to a Goodwill about a week and a half ago. Guess what? They're laying off employees. Yeah, they're laying off employees in the receiving area where you go and donate. They're laying off, again, some of these are volunteers, okay? But they're laying off actual employees, people that run the register, laying them off. No longer having people come into work. You know what else they're doing? In a recent change, they also changed their hours. They're open less. Know why? Less employees. Yeah, they're bringing costs down. It's one of the biggest things that they're doing. Now, I also received another interesting email. I received this over a couple weeks ago. The common thread in all these emails that I'm getting is that companies do not care about their employees. The companies care about profits. They care about ensuring that the company's going to be around for the next 1 to 2 years. And things are changing. Businesses are starting to pivot as they need to. Again, I run multiple different businesses, and every single time there's a shift that needs to be made, I shift, I pivot. I figure out a way to keep the companies open, keep the companies, making some type of revenue. They're profitable. This is why I strongly suggest that you are ready for what's coming. It doesn't matter if you are in the insurance business. It doesn't matter if you are in retail and sales. You could be a car salesman. You could be a realtor. It doesn't matter. This economy is changing. And if you're not ready, if you don't have your debt paid off, you don't have an emergency fund of at least 3 to 6 months, you don't have money set aside to buy gold and silver and just have cash, sitting there in case you need it for an emergency. And if you don't have another income stream, this is going to make the next probably 6 months very difficult. Now, I want to read you one last email. This is an email that I received over the weekend. And this is actually a very tough email. Now, I'll read it. But the reason why this is a tough email for me is because I knew this person. This person was one of my students. They were my student for probably about 2 years. Now, let me read you this. Here's what it says. And let me know. Let me know down in the comment section below. If you are seeing some of this stuff happening to you, to your family, to your friends, to people you know, let me know. I'm curious. The email says this, and I quote, "Bro, I am writing this to you with a heavy heart. I need to thank you for all that you did for my family. You helped me provide for them when we had nothing. You coached me even before I was able to pay you, and you gave me the tools I needed to be successful. But the unthinkable has happened finally. My business has gone down. In just the past 3 months, I went from a warehouse with 24 employees to now just myself. I went from having credit lines upward of $100,000 to now not having anything available to me. The game has changed, and the way the economy is today, my business model just won't work. I am not writing this to you so you feel sorry for me. I will bounce back and will land on my feet. Thank you for all that you have done, and keep spreading your message. It is invaluable." Now, let's go over that. First off, he had a warehouse of 24 employees. Now, it's just down to 1. It sounds like he does not have his warehouse anymore. He's just down to himself. Just to give you an idea who this person was, what they did, they would buy stuff from, as a wholesale supplier. They'd buy stuff from, let's say, Mattel, and at a wholesale price, then they'd flip it on Amazon, and probably other locations as well. Well, he had 24 employees. Now it's just him. He went from having credit lines of upward of $100,000. Now he has nothing available to him. I said this was going to happen. That businesses were going to have to lay off employees. We knew that's coming. I also said businesses were going to see their credit lines get reduced, practically down to nothing. Not go from 100,000 to nothing, but I thought there'd be some type of middle ground. For him, I guess it's all gone. The economy is changing. Now, his business model will still work, but he has to adjust. He has to pivot. And so, I didn't read my response, but essentially what I told this person was that, this is what you need to do. This is what I would do. This is what I've done in the past, and it works. But you have to start small. You have to be ready because things are going to change quickly. Well, we'll see what he does. But one thing I can tell you is that right now everybody is losing something. They're losing value in their home, losing value in their businesses. Their portfolios are dwindling down to just nothing. I knew a person that was going to retire about 2 years ago. He decided not to retire. He kept his money in a very, the portfolio that's in, it's very risky, and he lost a lot. He cannot retire right now. But again, we're seeing this. We're seeing people have to give their cars back to the banks because they can't afford it, and they can't sell it because right now they're in over their head. They're underwater. We're hearing from a lot of different people that are saying they're looking for a second job, third job, fourth job, whatever it is. They just can't find it. And they can't find it not because they're not looking, but because people are not out there trying to find new employees. They're trying to cut costs. So again, this is your final warning. And I say this is your final warning because experts are telling us this is going to happen probably this month, the month of May. The reason for this is because chances are in just 2 days, we're going to hear from Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, they're going to raise interest rates by another 25 basis points. As they do, lending is going to be even tighter. We're going to see people really default on their car loans, on credit cards, on homes. We're going to see homes in foreclosure. Businesses are going to go under. They're not going to be able to pay for their retail space, their warehouses, their rents, and things like that. Again, this is going to hurt. This is why right now you need to do whatever you can to, again, put money in the bank. Stop spending money. You need to save it. Okay? Make sure it's set aside so that you can use it when the time actually comes. According to experts, it's coming very soon. So, that's my warning for you guys. Again, thank you guys for listening. If you have any questions whatsoever, you can always send me a message at homemadeentrepreneur@gmail.com, or you can always put your comment down in the comment section below. I read them all the time, and I'll try to answer them as soon as possible. A lot of times, I don't answer them in actual written form. I use the comment, and I create another video for that. So again, make sure you do yourself a favor. Click that subscribe button so you never miss an update, and I will see you guys on the next one.